Today I answer a viewer's question about whether or not he should leave nursing and to become a doctor by getting his degree in the Caribbean. Hey guys, it's Brian back at you with another video where my goal is to mentor you to a rewarding career and to help you create a life you're proud of. And before I answer today's question, I just want to say thank you so much for all the support and all the subs. I really appreciate that, and I also apologize for not posting as frequently as I like. I am hoping to get more videos out. My schedule has been insane over the last several months. I got a new job about November of last year, and it's just been pedal to the metal ever since. And funny enough, in April of this year, I got promoted recently, and just like that, it's just been accelerated even further. What's interesting but not surprising is that I got my promotion by using the principles that I teach in my channel and in my other course, Singled Out, that I sell on my website. Guys, if you are thinking about getting promoted, I strongly encourage you to check that program out, or at least subscribe to this channel and get some free advice. Okay, let's get to the viewer's question. Hello, I have been watching your videos and have noticed that, just like the girl which you have already talked about, I am also a nursing student who is almost finished as well. Much like her, I do not like being in the hospital setting and truly believe I have made a mistake picking this career choice. I am now just still trying to figure out what I truly like. I have been in the mindset of thinking I like teaching, but I've also had it on my mind that I should go to the Caribbean to become a doctor, even though I hate the hospital, but find that being a doctor could possibly make me happier. What do you like or dislike about being a nurse? That's really interesting. I really want us to explore that a little bit and think about that for a second. Why do you not like being a nurse? Is it because of the environment? Is it because of the patients? Is it because you're dealing with the doctor? Is it because you're dealing with really, really long hours? And I wonder if you've had the opportunity to actually be in the hospital. Strongly recommend that anyone that wants to get into nursing or wants to get into the medical field where you are in a hospital setting to actually just go into the hospital and spend a couple hours there just to see how things are actually working. And it's mind-blowing. I think a lot of people go to nursing because they think that it's a well-paying job and that it's a respected job, and by all means it is, but it's also a very stressful one. It is not the most glamorous job either. When my dad was in the hospital, I see the work that they put in, the amount of hours that they put in, and the level of attention they have to provide, and the level of work and the stress to them physically. It's not easy. And yes, you're getting paid well, but in my opinion, I think there are much easier ways to make good money. So I strongly recommend, if you haven't, definitely go to the hospital and just observe. Just observe for the next hour or 2 hours just to see if this is the type of environment you want to work in. And if this is not for you, then I don't know if being a doctor is actually going to help you or hurt you or kind of just not answer your question, but this is something I really want you to start exploring. Let's go back to the email. I was also interested in looking to communicate with professionals in a workforce and being in charge of like human relations, or maybe even try to be a teacher internationally or even locally. This is really interesting. I really want us to break this down even further. So you say you want to get into human relations, you want to get into communications. What does that mean? Are you actually thinking about working in an organization and trying to be their PR person? Or are you just telling me that you want to work with people? I can't really tell based on the level of English in this particular email, but this is something I want you to start thinking about. The other piece I want to address is your note regarding teaching, and you talk about teaching internationally or nationally. And I think if you want to be a teacher, you should pull out the whole concept of national or international out of the equation right now and just think about teaching. Because if you want to be a teacher, you want to teach. It doesn't matter where you go. It's about what you're doing for students. You want to give. That's why you want to become a teacher. Not because it's convenient, not because you're running out of options from a career perspective, and not because it's just an easy solve. You want to teach because you want to help students and that you are good at that. It really, really bugs me when I see teachers who got into that profession because it was an easy career choice. And what does that mean? It means they make shitty teachers, and I can't stand them. I have no patience for them, and I really want to make sure that the school system is built with teachers that want to be there. So as you can tell, I'm very passionate about this, and I strongly encourage you to think along those lines. So then the viewer continues with, I find that I like the feeling of being special in the sense that when I go to the other countries, I feel welcomed as a foreigner and wanted. This is really interesting. I think this is even more insightful than everything else you've told me so far, so I really appreciate and thank you for that. What this tells me is that there's definitely this desire for you to feel wanted. You want to be important, you want to feel special. And I don't know if you need to be a foreigner to get that, and if that's the case, there are bigger issues right now that we should address together. But I think that it's really important and revealing that you've told me that this is key for you to be happy, and I would love to hear from you again after you watch this video. Send me another email, and I'd like to explore this even further with you. I think this is something that we really need to work on, and overall this is really good news for me because it really gives an insight as to why you don't want to become a nurse. If you want to be special, if you want to feel wanted, you don't get that from nursing. I don't even know if you get that from being a doctor, other than the bragging rights of being a doctor when you're amongst friends or family at the next reunion. But beyond that, in your day-to-day, I don't think you're going to get that through those two professions. And I really want you to examine and explore this as you are looking at other jobs and other careers. So what other jobs could give you that opportunity to feel special, to feel wanted, and to feel important? Again, are you thinking about being like the PR person for an organization or for a company where all the spotlight is on you? Is that something that you want? Do you want all that attention? Or is that too much? Or maybe you're not an extrovert and this is something that's actually quite stressful for you. Instead, what are those things that feed you in that sense to make you feel important? I think this is something that's absolutely key. The other thing I want you to keep in mind is that whatever career or job that comes to mind that says, yes, this is what I want to do, just remember that you probably won't be able to get that job today. So then you want to break it down and think of all the other career opportunities or jobs that you can get now to help you build you into the perfect candidate to get the job that you really ultimately want. And finally, he closes with, the only catch is that these jobs don't end up paying very much money usually. I am just confused now of what job to go for. Thank you, Daniel. All right, Daniel, let me just make it really clear that right now you want to not think about money. And I say that because at this stage of the game, whether you become a doctor or you become a nurse and you get that awesome job right off the bat, money isn't going to be that good in the grand scheme of things. You're going to be stuck with tons of student loans. You're going to be trying to move out. You're going to have all these other expenses that will just drain your bank account. So yes, your starting salary might be high, but your net cash will be very, very low. So really you won't be making that much money even under ideal circumstances. Chances are you're not going to make good money anyway, regardless of what profession you're taking, so you might as well focus on the profession that you really want, that really feeds that piece of you that you need in order to wake up every Monday morning. And as a personal philosophy, I always recommend that someone chases the skills and chases the experience, and the money will follow with that, rather than chasing the money. So I know you've got a huge challenge ahead of you, and it's not going to be an easy solve in terms of figuring out what you want to do. But what you can do right now, Daniel, is to rule out whether nursing and being a doctor is for you or not. So over the next several weeks, over the next several months, I really want you to explore and see if being a nurse is what you want, and to also schedule some coffee time with some doctors, or to book an appointment and have him or her check you up on something, and then start asking some career questions just so you can get some real insight of whether or not this is for you. This is your livelihood, this is your future. Investing those few moments to figure that out is going to be huge payoff for you in the long run. The other thing I want you to start doing is to explore jobs and career avenues that's going to feed that part of you, that desire to want to feel important, that wants you to feel special. And I question, does that mean you becoming an executive in a company where a lot of people will report to you? Or does that look like something along the lines of being in PR where you are communicating with a lot of people? Or does that mean becoming a teacher? And again, you want to start thinking about all of that and going through those phases of networking with those people so that you can explore that further. And finally, I want you to realize that there is absolutely no rush for you to figure this out right now. You want to take the time to do the homework, your due diligence, so that you understand what's ahead of you 10, 15, 20 years from now. That's more important. So take the time today to figure that out and realize that there's no rush to figure out exactly what you need to do tomorrow. Daniel, I feel like I threw a lot of information at you, and at the same time, I don't have a lot of context over the grand scheme of things. I really encourage you, once you see this video, please reach out to me through email, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. Or if you want, check out my products and services page and we can schedule a one-on-one together. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Remember, I'm here to help mentor you to a rewarding career to help you create a life you're proud of. If you liked today's video, please hit that subscribe button. And if you have a question that you'd like me to answer in a future video, go to my website, 101mentoring.com, and submit your question to me that way. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.